I'd been working at Luminous Tech for over 2 years, and like many of my colleagues, I was tired of the grind. The work was decent, but the pay was lackluster, and my boss, Sarah, was notorious for playing favorites. She was tough but fair, with an eye for talent and an impeccable sense of style that intimidated most of us in the office. One Thursday afternoon, I received an email from Sarah requesting a one-on-one meeting. My heart raced. I had been eyeing a promotion to project manager for months, but I had no idea how the meeting would go. I took a deep breath, mentally preparing myself for whatever was about to unfold. When I entered her office, Sarah was sitting behind her large mahogany desk, scrolling through her tablet. She looked up and smiled, gesturing for me to take a seat. "Thanks for coming in," she said, her tone businesslike but friendly. "I wanted to discuss your performance on the recent project. You did a fantastic job." I felt a rush of pride at her compliment. "Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. We've been looking for someone to take the lead on a new project, and I think you'd be perfect for it," she said. "It'll come with a promotion and a significant raise." My heart soared. "Wow, I'm honored. What do you need me to do?" She leaned forward, her expression turning serious. "There's one condition, though. The team is a bit unconventional. They tend to push boundaries, and I need someone who can handle that." I raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Unconventional how?" Sarah smirked, clearly enjoying my curiosity. "Let's just say they have a unique approach to team bonding, but if you're willing to go with the flow, I think you'll fit right in." "Of course," I said, too eager to grasp this opportunity. "I'm ready for whatever it takes." She laughed softly, a glimmer of mischief in her eyes. "Great, just remember to keep an open mind. I'll introduce you to the team tomorrow." The next day, I walked into the conference room for our first meeting, expecting the usual icebreakers and team-building activities. Instead, I was met with a large banner that read, "Welcome to the Pleasure Principal Team." The group was eclectic, to say the least. There were a couple of project managers I recognized, a few new faces, and, surprisingly, a yoga instructor. The mood was light, and everyone seemed at ease. Sarah stood at the front, her confidence radiating. "Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to explore some team dynamics through a series of unconventional exercises," she said. "And yes, it includes a trust fall, but with a twist." Curiosity piqued. I watched as Sarah explained the first activity. It involved each team member sharing their most embarrassing moment while simultaneously doing a light yoga pose. The room erupted with laughter as people revealed their awkward stories, and I found myself loosening up despite my initial hesitations. As the activities progressed, I realized Sarah was right. The team had a unique chemistry, but when the time came for the trust fall, it took a turn I didn't expect. Instead of the usual catching exercise, Sarah instructed everyone to pair up. Each pair would take turns falling backward, but the catch was that their partner would only catch them if they truly trusted them. "Trust is key in this team," Sarah said, grinning. "If you fall and your partner doesn't catch you, you learn something important about yourself." As the activity continued, it was my turn to fall. I chose to pair with Jake, one of the more laid-back team members who had been joking around all day. I took a deep breath and let myself fall back, fully expecting him to catch me. To my horror, Jake stepped aside, and I fell hard onto the mat. Laughter erupted in the room, but I couldn't help but laugh too. Even though I felt a bit embarrassed, I shot a glare at Jake, but he just winked at me, clearly enjoying the moment. Afterward, as we sat in a circle to share what we learned, I realized this team was more than just about work. It was about vulnerability, pushing boundaries, and building trust in the most unexpected ways. As the weeks went on, I embraced the team's unconventional methods, and surprisingly, I thrived. Sarah and I grew closer as colleagues, and I found myself respecting her leadership style even more. Then came the day that changed everything. It was a Friday, and we were wrapping up the week with our usual team debrief. Sarah had planned a celebratory outing for us at a local bar. The drinks were flowing, and the atmosphere was electric. As the night progressed, the team became more and more relaxed, and the conversation turned to playful banter. In the midst of the laughter, someone suggested a game of truth or dare. I chuckled, thinking back to my high school days. The game started innocently enough, with harmless truths and silly dares, but then it was Sarah's turn. "What's the craziest thing you've ever done in a work setting?" someone asked. Sarah smirked. "Let's just say I've had my fair share of wild office parties." She looked around the circle, and her gaze landed on me. "Okay, I dare you to give us a demonstration of your best trust fall." The room erupted in laughter, and I felt a flush of embarrassment, but I decided to go along with it. Fine, but only if you catch me this time, I joked. Everyone cheered, and I took my position, but instead of falling backward, I turned around and fell forward into Sarah's arms. The laughter intensified, and Sarah held me close, her eyes sparkling with surprise. In that moment, something shifted between us. We locked eyes, and for a brief second, the laughter faded, replaced by an electric tension. Then, with a playful grin, she whispered, "You know, if you really want to impress me, you could always show me your skills in a more private setting." The room fell silent as everyone looked between us, unsure if this was part of the game or something more. I felt my heart race, and I couldn't help but smirk back. "Is that a challenge, Sarah?" I asked, raising an eyebrow. Her smile widened. "Maybe, but I wouldn't want to mix business with pleasure, unless you're up for it." The atmosphere shifted. The playful banter turned into a palpable tension that lingered in the air. The team, sensing something brewing between us, quickly changed the subject, but I could feel Sarah's eyes on me. As the night wore on, I found myself glancing at Sarah, the playful dare hanging in the air like a challenge. By the end of the evening, as everyone began to leave, I caught her standing by the door, a coy smile playing on her lips. "Are you heading home?" she asked, tilting her head slightly. "I could be persuaded to stay," I replied, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. Her smile widened, and she stepped closer. "Good. I have some ideas for how we can celebrate your promotion." And just like that, my work life took an unexpected turn. What started as a humorous dare evolved into an exhilarating night filled with laughter, surprises, and an undeniable spark. I learned that sometimes, the most unexpected moments can lead to the most memorable experiences, both in and out of the office. From that night on, I found that the line between professional and personal was not as rigid as I once thought. With Sarah, I discovered that taking chances could lead to unexpected promotions, both in career and in life.